All right, today we're going to talk about the Canon EOS 6D Mark I. This camera was released in November of 2012. It has a 20.1 megapixel full frame sensor. It has 11 points of autofocus in its system. It has 4.5 frames per second of continuous shooting, which is not that great, but I have to mention it. The mount is EF. It has a 3-inch LCD screen, but the LCD screen is not articulating. It has a one single SD card slot with a built-in GPS/Wi-Fi. And last but not least, the video capabilities, or it shoots 1080p in 30 frames per second. So, just barely average or minimum to get the job done. All right, so this camera is built to last. It has a nice grip to it. It has 5 buttons across the right-hand side to control your settings, such as accessing the quick autofocus controls, drive modes such as single shooting mode, continuous shooting mode, silent single shooting mode, and self-timer modes, okay? The button in the center is for you to control your ISO or ISO. The button to the right of the center button is the metering mode button. Last but not least, on the LCD panel illumination button is to quickly light up the top LCD panel to display your settings quickly. In case you're in dark settings and you want to adjust your settings whenever you're out shooting or recording. That's good. That's a good function to have if you can't see in the dark or in low light situations. Okay, so the main dial is on the top right side of the camera, and that is for you to change any settings by rotating the wheel. On the back side of the camera, at the top is where the back buttons are located. The autofocus on button is up there, and it assists you with giving you pinpoint focus with the 11 points of autofocus. Now, the button next to it, which is the star button or the asterisk button, is located next to the AF on button. And its function is to quickly change the aperture. And the third button next to the star button is to select one of the points of autofocus or all of them when you're in live mode, or when you're shooting in live, when you're about to capture a picture. That's what these functions or these buttons will do. Located beneath those 3 buttons is the start stop button for viewing the live view mode, and it also helps you view the previous images and or recorded videos. The top 3 buttons located beneath that is the magnifying glass icon, the Q button, and the playback button. The magnifying glass icon function is to zoom in while shooting stills or recording videos. So basically to just zoom in, hence the name magnifying glass, to zoom in and see things, makes sense. The quick menu button allows you to navigate through your settings, and the playback button is self-explanatory. You hit the playback button and you get to see your images or videos, and you hit play. Simple as that. All right, the quick control dial is the rotational dial where you can change and navigate to select different options. If you rotate the dial while it's in this mode, it will change the f-stop number. The button beneath the control dial to the left with the trash can icon is also self-explanatory. Click the button once, it'll ask you, do you want to delete the photo or the video, and you select the option that you need and move forward. All right, the multi-function lock switch button is to the right of the control dial. Its main function is to prevent you from accidentally changing any settings that you have already set. So you lock it in place and you set it and forget it. That's the best way I can put it. So once you lock it, any settings that you have applied right then and there before you're about to take your shot or about to record will stay set, and you never have to worry about any of your settings to change in the middle of your shoots. That's a great feature. All right, now remember, this camera was made in 2012, so it has some nice features. All right, let's take the time out to ask a question. If you're getting value out of this content, I would like for you to hit that like button If you would like more value coming from me, I'd like for you to hit that subscribe button, and I want to see you in a future video. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll see you soon. Let's jump back into the video. All right, above the LCD panel screen is the menu button and the info button. The menu button allows you to look through all of your options and settings, while the info button in live view mode will display the battery life of the camera after one press, or after pressing it one time. It would also display quick menu settings with 11 points of autofocus after pressing it twice, the same button. And then it will display a histogram after pressing the info button a third time. And last but not least, it will display a digital leveler after pressing it 4 times. If you press the info button a 5th time, it will go back to a clean screen, meaning you'll have nothing on there, which is also great. I just want to throw that out there in case you guys don't know how to navigate through the camera. Now, I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm going to go through some other things to give you some advice or some information to help you make that purchase decision. Okay, so the viewfinder eyepiece is for you to hold your eye close to the viewfinder, where you have 2 types of viewfinder. There are 2 types of viewfinders. It's optical and digital. The digital one is on the back of the LCD screen, and the optical one is the one where you hold your eye close up to the viewfinder and allows you to see what the LCD screen would display, but instead it's almost giving you a live view presence. That's hence the name live view, right? All right, moving on. The power switch, which is located on the left top, which is located on the top left of the camera. The power switch is to give power to the camera from the battery, and the mode dial is located within the power switch. In order to switch between each mode, you would have to press and hold the button in the middle, then release it to set it to one of those 10 options. 10 options being the 10 different modes. Those modes are manual exposure mode, aperture priority mode, shutter priority mode, program AE mode, scene intelligent auto mode, creative auto mode, special scene mode, program AE mode again, and bulb mode. If you would like to learn a little bit more about those modes, I would like to share with you what I know about them and maybe perhaps do another video. If you would like for me to do a video on those modes, type modes in the comments section below, and I will see to it to make a video if you're interested in that. Moving on. The hot shoe mount is at the top and center of the camera, obviously. It's for your off-camera flash and things like I said, off-camera flash. It's for you to apply microphone like I have here, or to apply a flash, an external flash. Okay, so moving on. On the far left side of the camera, you'll see the speaker on the side. It's also located in the front. On this same side, it has the audio video out digital. It has a remote control terminal port, and also it has external microphone and terminal and an HDMI out port. So keep in mind that's all on the left side of the camera. All right, underneath the camera body is a 1/4 thread hole where you can apply nice things like tripods and things of that nature, plates and so on and so forth. All right, so the battery compartment cover release lever is located on the right bottom side of the camera. This camera accepts LP E6N batteries. Now, the card slot cover is located on the right side of the camera. This is where you put your SD card at, all right? This camera is ideal for portrait photography and travel photography. It is not meant to be used in sports photography or anything dealing with fast-moving subjects or anything of that nature, because its continuous shooting mode is only up to 4.5 frames per second, which is not fast enough. And that's what I explained earlier. It doesn't have dual autofocus like my Canon EOS 90D does. So you're limited for what you can do. But again, this camera is mainly, or should be mainly, used for photos. So your stills. So the only other reason why you would use this camera, you would have to put this camera in manual mode if you're recording and set it as a B camera. But I wouldn't really use it as an A camera because the autofocus on this camera is not dependable. It focus hunts, and you don't want that while you're recording. You want clean recording, you know, with no focus hunting at all.